going to the basket on the left in the first half. Lloyd drives. The Bulldogs lead by a score of 2-0. Usually, Bob Ortegal prefers the offense to his direction in the second half. However, the visiting coach has the option, and he made the decision that Tulsa would go in front of their bench away from the Bulldogs in the first half. As the baseline lob to Stewart, tries to tie the score. He lays it up, he misses it, but he got hammered by Ricky Wadley, and the game's first foul will give Tulsa an opportunity at the free throw line. The ball game is a half a minute old. The Bulldogs have a 2-0 lead on Lewis Lloyd's hoop. Ricky Wadley with the game's first foul, and to the foul line for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane comes David Stewart. Rather, Greg Stewart. He's the 6'9" junior out of the Bronx, New York. Stewart at the line, right-handed push is good, and it's a 2-1 game. Greg Stewart hitting just 63% of his shots from the field. He is from the Bronx, we mentioned, was sent to Nolan Richardson at then West Texas Junior College by the great Nate Archibald of the Boston Celtics. The next free throw by Stewart is no good. It's a 2-1 game in favor of the Bulldogs as up the floor pedals Jeff Hill. Hill has a surprise starter tonight ahead of Terry Youngauer, starting just the 7th time in his Drake career. Comes to Park right on the wing. High post to Earl, right in the left corner. Takes the dribble, shoots out the left baseline. No good off the throw. Rebound grabbed by Lewis Lloyd. Lloyd to the baseline. He double pumps. He'll put it up. And the shot's off the front of the iron. And then underneath there's a foul spotted on Tulsa. They're going to call it on Paul Pressing. He picks up the game's first foul for the Golden Hurricane, and the team fouls are even at 1. Jerry, I guess we've watched Lewis Lloyd enough to make this observation in just 44 seconds. He really looks ready to play tonight.
He does. He only got 4 or 5 shots in the entire first half at Tulsa. He's gotten 2 off in the first 45 seconds of the game tonight.
Bob Wright to inbound is referee Rich Eichhorst, who's the school superintendent from the St. Louis area, hands the ball into Lloyd, drives the lane, has it blocked by Pressey. Pressey throws it ahead to Spradling. Spradling down the lane, leaves it to the trailer Brown. He'll drive to the lane, lay it up and in. He caught behind him by Spradling off to David Brown, and Tulsa's got the lead at 3-2. Golden Hurricane by a point. Bulldogs play it right to left, out of the left corner, Wright shoots and scores. Takes the lead again at 4-3. Wright, coming off a poor performance at Creighton when he hit just 3 of 11 from the field, shows early that he has seen 55 left to play in the opening half. Dribbling across the timeline, Phil Spradling, a junior college transfer from El Paso, Texas. Top of the circle, he swings it to Pressey. Pressey on the wing for Spradling, back to Pressey, shoots from the top of the circle, no good to the left. Lewis Lloyd has the rebound for the Bulldogs. Out left to Hill. Hill dribble drives across the 10-second line. Hill right in the left corner. Hill gun. Hill gun. Pass right. 2, and the Bulldogs have got a 6-3 lead. 18-31, left to 20 in the first half. Across the timeline, Phil Spradling. Spradling has the ball, poked away by Hill. Races around Hill, goes to the lane. Cross court on the wing. The pass is outside to Bob Stevenson. Stevenson, the lone returning starter for Nolan Richardson from last year. As Stevenson is a holdover from the Jim King regime, the only one in the starting lineup. On the wing, it goes to Phil Spradling. Spradling against the man-to-man of Hill, dribbles to the left wing, throws it in the left corner to Stevenson, drives the base, puts up a 7-footer. It's an air ball. Hill rebounds. Out left to right, right to the line, right to the lane, right in deep, banks it up, and blows the layup, gets his own rebound, puts it in the forward side. So sure with the Golden Hurricane that he was going to hit it the first game. They didn't bother to rebound. In favor of the Drake Bulldogs. Out of the backcourt for the Hurricane, Stevenson. Baseline lob underneath to Brown. He'll lay it up, miss it. Rebound is grabbed by Jeff Hill. Hill will bring it out of the backcourt for the Bulldogs. Hill has it deflected up.
Tulsa break shortly. The 1981 Honda automobiles are now in Des Moines and ready for immediate sale. Where can you go to find the Civic, Ford, or Prelude that's just right for you and your budget? That's right, Holmes Honda. Come in now and see all the brand new 1981 Hondas. See and test drive one of America's favorite small cars. When you found the one you want, who has the best deals? Who else but Holmes Honda can offer you a 1981 two-door Accord 5-speed for only $69.65, or a 1981 Civic DX 5-speed for just $51.92?
Your credit union is the place to borrow money to. They have low-cost loans for cars, home appliances, vacations, and hundreds of other things, and at lower interest rates than most other lenders. Your credit union, savings insured to $100,000 by the administrator, NCUA. Come and brighten up your nightlife at your home lighting headquarters, the Lighting Gallery, where there's always a great selection of the finest names in interior lighting. Light of War, Forecast, Feldman, stained glass Tiffany's by Hart, as well as Casablanca ceiling fans and fine bathroom cabinets and home accessories by Newtone. Great names and lighting. Your trained consultants will help you select just the right fixture or lamp to brighten up your nightlife. The Lighting Gallery, open every day except Sunday at 8033 University.
Up to play in the first half. At the other end, a shot is put up and in by Tulsa's David Stewart, and that makes the score 12-5. It's the Bulldogs up quickly by 7. 16:41 left to play in the first half. At the top of the circle, Donnie Earl with the basketball. In, Dave down. Donnie Earl and Louis Lloyd has got it too. The Bulldogs are off to an outstanding start of the basketball game, doing everything right at the outset, and the Bulldogs have jumped to a 14-5 lead. At the top of the circle, going into the lane is David Brown. Brown leaves the ball outside for Phil Spradling. Spradling brings the ball up the left sideline. The Bulldogs have gone into a man-to-man defense, which they've been in all the way. At the top of the circle, holding the basketball for the Golden Hurricane is Paul Pressey. Gets a screen, goes off to Stevenson, fires from the left corner and drills it. And Tulsa makes it a 14-7 ball game. The Bulldogs up to an early 7-point lead. Louis Lloyd bubbles the ball on the left wing, hands it off to Jeff Hill, corner to Wright. He will gun. It is no good from the left corner. Underneath a rebound scramble, and a foul is called. Foul call with 15:50 left to play in the half. By the way, we now have an explanation for what has gone wrong, so we will try to bring the basketball game as best we can over the telephone. When the power is restored, then we will get it back to you. Out of the corner, the shot by Pop Wright, no good. Rebound by Lloyd, puts it up off the points, and the Bulldogs are off to a good 16-7 lead. There may be a power shortage in the auditorium, but not on the floor. Shot from the wing by Tulsa's Greg Stewart won't fly, and with the rebound is Ricky Wadley. Wadley dribbles across the timeline, pulls up, free throw line extended right. Top of the circle to Hill. He's open. He'll fire. Get it out. Now the rebound is taken by Greg Stewart. Out comes the Golden Hurricane, trailing it early by 9 at 16-7. The big key for the Bulldogs, jumping on Tulsa early. This they've done. Shot from the lane for Tulsa, bangs in by David Brown, and it is a 16-9 ball game. The game is 5 in its history. Out of the backcourt comes Jeff Hill. Hill on the right wing to Wright. Wright guarded man for man by Pressey. Moves around and has the ball stripped by Stevenson. Stevenson out left to Spradling. Spradling up the left sideline. Cuts into the lane. Turnaround jumper from the baseline. No good. And underneath the foul is spotted on Tulsa. They're going to foul it on Tulsa's David Brown. I think it's Paul Pressey. And pressure failure, at least here on press row. But certainly the Bulldogs have been not short of offensive power.
No, they really haven't, Larry. It's been the Pop Wright and Louis Lloyd show. They're going to Pop Wright for the jump shot off the baseline. He's been hitting most of them. Louis getting good offensive rebounding position. What he misses.
Jeff Hill on the left wing. Right sideline, it goes to Donnie Earl. Earl takes the dribble into the lane. He'll put it up from 3. No, he got fouled. No, he's called for a charge. Donnie Earl going down the lane, correct that foul on Tulsa. Originally, I thought that would be the call, and then it looked like the referee was looking at Donnie Earl, but instead he points to the Tulsa player who Donnie Earl collided with. The foul's called on Steve Ballard, who came into the ball game off the bench for Tulsa after starting against the Bulldogs down in Tulsa earlier this year. Donnie Earl will go to the foul line for Drake. Donnie this year just a 50% shooter from the line. He is better than that from the field at 54%. 14:38 left to play in the first half. Drake a 16-9 lead over the Hurricane as the free throw is up and off by Donnie Earl. Donnie Earl with a career high of 23 points against West Texas State. This has done an outstanding job for the Bulldogs. Was outstanding at Tulsa, 10 rebounds, 10 points. He misfires on both free throws, and the rebound is grabbed by Stewart for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Ahead on the wing to Mike Anderson, who's just been inserted into the lineup. Anderson out of Jefferson State, Alabama Junior College. Here's a shot from the wing by Pressey, no good, and a foul is called. The officials, who have the reputation of letting teams play, are calling them pretty close at the outset of the ballgame. The foul called on Paul Pressey, called it on Drake's Donnie Earl, and it'll be his first personal foul. It's the second foul called against the Bulldogs. 16-9, Drake with the lead, and going to the line for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, Paul Pressey, and a free throw is no good off to the left. Paul Pressey coming in averaging 10.3. A lot of people compare him to Don Shady. He's really quite an athlete.
He's really a superb basketball player, a good defensive player, too, as he misses the second free throw.
And the Bulldogs come down with Louis Lloyd on the dribble to the top of the circle after getting the rebound. Lloyd in the corner to Jeff Hill, has a notion, decides not to shoot, dribbles off to his left, goes in the corner to right, drives the base, off for Hill at the free throw line, makes a move to his right, holds up, off it comes to right, shoots from the free throw line, no good off the iron, rebound tipped by Lloyd, will go, rebound followed here. Puts it in for his hit, 18-9, the Bulldogs lead. Drake doing everything right at the outset. And the foul was called on Tulsa. Donnie Earl, Steve Ballard with a total total of 2 fouls. Jerry Drake has done everything right offensively and defensively to start the ball game.
The main factor, of course, is that they're playing so very hard through the first 6 minutes of the basketball game. Donnie Earl gets this free throw to complete the three-point play. Drake's just showing great intensity on a very meaningful evening.
And Tulsa, with their great press, has the opportunity and always the ability to blow a game open in a hurry. So you've got to watch Tulsa. No lead too big against the Hurricane. 13:53 to play in the half. 19-9, Drake to the lead. With the basketball outside is Paul Pressey. Pressey on the right wing. He throws it on the right sideline to Bob Stevenson. Stevenson top of the circle to Mike Anderson. Anderson goes in deep. A turnaround jump shot tried by Stewart. It is no good, and the foul's called on Drake. Well, we have had power restored, so if you will hang with us for a split second, we will be right back with you. Just stay right where you are. Minutes and 39 seconds left to play in the first half, and the Tulsa is Greg Stewart. He sinks the free throw. That will give him a total of 4 points at the 19-10 ball game. One more for Greg Stewart. Free throw up, and it is no good. The rebound is taken momentarily by Lloyd. Kicks it out of bounds. The Tulsa Golden Hurricane will get the ball back. Well, we apologize for that brief power failure here on Press Row that may have caused it a little bit difficult to listen for a time. However, things should be well under control. Tulsa with the basketball on the left sideline. With the inbound is Anderson off to Pressey, drives inside, moves it off the hand of Ricky Wadley. Wadley with a deflection of the basketball for Drake. Ahead to Jeff Hill. Hill dribble drives across the free throw line. Hill to the right wing. Top of the circle to Wadley. Left side to Wright. Wright cross court to Hill. Hill between the rings. The Bulldogs up by 9. 13-18 to play in the half. In the corner, it's Ricky Wadley off to Donnie Earl. Earl, free throw line extended. Wright puts it to the floor. Kicks it back outside to Hill. Hill looks in against the Tulsa man-to-man. To Lloyd, hands it back to Hill. Goes to the left wing. Leaves it on the top of the circle for Wadley. Drives into the lane. Tries a 7-footer. Banks it in. Excellent move by Ricky Wadley. And it is a 21-10. Bulldog lead of 11. Down quickly for Tulsa. Mike Anderson on the left wing for David Brown. Inside, the pass intended for Stewart. Kicked out of his hands and out of bounds. It'll be Bulldog basketball. The pass right through the miss of Stewart. Ricky Wadley providing the defense, but essentially Stewart not looking for the pass. The Bulldogs have the ball back.
The Drake quick start starting to take its toll as the Tulsa players start questioning what one another are doing out on the floor.
Top of the circle. Pop Wright will gun and switch. And Pop Wright has got 8, and the Bulldogs have a lead of 13 at 23-10. Drake's biggest lead of the night. Tulsa will use it. Timeout Tulsa with 12:30 left to play in the first half. And our score from that, Drake 23, Tulsa 10 on KSO. And that's on it to try to stem the tide of the Drake Bulldogs' emotions.
Larry, the Bulldogs are shooting well at 55% to just 40 for Tulsa, but we told you the key could well be on the glass this evening and rebounding through the first 7.5 minutes. Drake has 13 rebounds to just 5 for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Drake has not yet turned the basketball over also through the first 7.5. That's certainly a key factor.
Indeed it is. The Bulldogs turned it over 13 times against the Hurricane in Tulsa, and Tulsa's got the press to make you turn it over. They've not exhibited thus far tonight. Ed Lindblad is coming to the ball game for Tulsa at the last timeout, as is Ty Nielsen. So Nolan Richardson going to his bench as he's trying to find a combination that will work. Nielsen nearly threw it away on the side, gets it back, goes into the lane, running right-hander banks in, and Phil Spradling connects for Tulsa, and it's a 23-12 ball game. Drake ahead by 11, 12:04 left to play in the half. Bringing the ball down the right wing is Jeff Hill. Dribbles into the right corner, bounces baseline for Lloyd. Double team, triple team, gets the ball back outside the right. Baseline pass looking for Earl, deflected by Lindblad. Lindblad saves it in bounds to Tulsa's Paul Pressey, and it'll be the Hurricane out of the backcourt trying to make their second bucket in a row. Outside is Mike Anderson. He throws the ball on the right side to Spradling. Spradling midway down the lane. Right-hand jump hook, spins out. Rebounded Donnie Earl. Earl out left to Hill. Hill quickly across the 10-second line to the free throw line. Shovels to Lloyd. Back to Hill. And a blocking foul called on Tulsa. Lloyd blocked by Anderson. Anderson sprung up in a hurry, saying that the foul should have been offensive against Lewis Lloyd. Referee Ron Zetcher right there to whistle it against Mike Anderson, who picked up his first foul. It is already Tulsa's 6th, contrasted to just 3 against the Drake Bulldogs.
Weldon Drew now he reminds me a little of Bobby Hansen from the University of Iowa in terms of the way he's built and the way he plays. Good defensive player, too.
Inbound feed to Jeff Hill at the top of the circle. Swings it to Watley on the right wing. Dribbles to his right to the right sideline. Bounces baseline intended for Earl. Holdout foul called on Tulsa. It's called on David Brown. David Brown picking up his first personal foul. The Bulldogs will be in the bonus the remaining 11:25 of the first half. So thus far, everything going right for Drake. And Nolan Richardson walking to the midcourt line to yell about the call. This time, foul in the act of shooting. Donnie Earl will shoot the 1-and-1. That's the second foul, not the first on David Brown. The free throw by Donnie Earl is no good, and Donnie is just 1 out of 4 at the foul line. Bringing it down for Tulsa is Spradling on the wing to Lindblad, top of the circle to Anderson. The Bulldogs have now stayed with their zone man-to-man defense, driving the lane. Spradling banks it up no good. Rebound to Lewis Lloyd, and he got fouled by Lindblad. Lloyd brought the ball down. Lindblad reached to knock it away and picked up the foul. Correct that. Calling instead on David Brown. Apparently it occurred away from that rebound, and Brown was picked up his third. Well, David Brown, who did not see much playing time against Tulsa, or against the Bulldogs in Tulsa because of the flu and foul, is rapidly getting himself out of this ball game. He just picked up his third foul. He will leave with 11:10 to play in the half, and Greg Stewart will come in to take his place. The Bulldogs have an edge on the boards of 15-6. That's a big reason they've been able to run to a 23-12 lead over the Golden Hurricane. As Jerry told you at the start of the broadcast, Drake did an outstanding job in Tulsa on the boards, out-rebounding the Hurricane 43-34. At the line will be Black Magic.
Pop Wright and Jeff Hill having words at the defensive end of the floor as Lewis's first free throw is good. He'll earn the bonus. Spradling has managed to drive by Hill several times in succession and get the penetration to the glass. Pop was pointing out to Jeff that he uses the same fake to the left every time before driving right and trying to show him how to jump in front of him.
Insightful comment. Lewis Lloyd hits both free throws, and the Bulldogs lead it by 13, 25-12. 11 minutes left to play in the first half. Tulsa against the man-to-man defense. There's a baseline feed for Spradling. Shoots behind a pick by Stewart. Misses it. Rebound to Ricky Watley. Stumbling out of bounds, but he gets it to Wright. He's all alone, and he will stop it. A great play by Watley. Falling out of bounds. He got it to block Wright. Wright at midcourt lobbed it ahead of Donnie Earl. He ran under it, went to the hole, and jammed it through. And the Bulldogs are up by 15 at 27-12. Drake has come out playing with great inspiration tonight. On the wing for the Golden Hurricane is Spradling. Follow-up jumper, no good. And the rebound is taken by Pop Wright. Right across the timeline, bounces to Lloyd on the left baseline. He fakes, pressing into the bleachers, puts it up. Lewis Lloyd is in double figures with 10, as is Pop Wright with 12. And the Bulldogs are up by 17 tally at 29-12. What a performance tonight by Drake. Drake has won the last 4 points in a row. Spradling with the ball. Out to Anderson on the left wing. Anderson dribbles to the free throw line. Goes down the lane. Running right-hander. No good to the right. Rebound gets back to Watley. Hands it to Hill with 9:57 to go in the half. And Drake up 29-12. To Jeff Hill. Baseline lob to Lewis Lloyd. Lloyd backing in, and the foul is coming on Tulsa. Lloyd got the ball. Tulsa went for the triple team, and a foul was called on Michael Anderson. Anderson with his second foul, and the Golden Hurricane with their 8th. Lewis Lloyd will go back to the line with 9:51 left to play in the first half, and Drake up by 17.
And Weldon Drew, who came in saying that his team was playing its best basketball of the season, talking about the NCAA, realizes tonight may not be his night.
Actually, Nolan Richardson, rather than Weldon Drew, pretty dejected about the state of affairs. The free throw by Lewis Lloyd is good, and for Lloyd, that's 11 points, and now the crowd roars as Ernie Banks will come into the lineup. Ernie has dribbled those in the last 4 ball games. He's averaged 5 minutes a game, come up with 4 points and 3 rebounds. The free throw by Lewis Lloyd is good. That will give him 12, and the Bulldogs have jumped to a 31-12 advantage. Drake with a lead of 19, 9:45 to go in the half. A jump shot from the free throw line is good by Greg Stewart for Tulsa. Stewart with 6, and it is a 31-14 ball game. Drake jumping off to a 17-point lead. Baseline lob. Hill with the right. Drake looks like an basketball team. They have done just everything right. Leads Tulsa 33-14. Stewart into the lane. Right-hand jump push is good. And Stewart has come down, and it's 2 in a row for Tulsa. It is 33-16. The pace is quick because the Bulldogs are being successful at it. Here's the ball. Lloyd left of the lane. Off to Hill. Shoots top of the circle. Off the front of the iron. Rebound is tipped momentarily by Banks, but controlled by Tulsa. Anderson brings it down on Hill. Goes into the lane. He double pumps, and he got fouled. Foul called on Jeff Hill. Hill fouling his former high school teammate Mike Anderson. It is Hill's first foul. It is the Bulldogs' fourth, and it will be Tulsa with a basketball. At the line, Manley in great lead, but now Stevenson back in, and Anderson will go to the line. Mike Anderson scored 17 points in Tulsa's big victory Monday night at Wichita State. He scored 16 points against the Bulldogs in the first meeting. Also had 5 assists and no turnovers in 34 minutes of play. He misfires on the free throw. And it's still 33-16 in favor of Drake. One more for Mike Anderson. His right-handed push is up, and it is good. Anderson hits his first, and the Bulldogs lead is 33-17. Drake by 16, 9:01 left to play in the half. A must-win situation for Drake. With the ball, Park Wright leaves it off in the lane. Put up jumper. Good rebound by Ernie Banks. Follows up. And easy for Pease. Scores quickly after coming off the bench. It's a 35-17 game. Baseline lob for Stewart. Hauls it in. Puts it up over Lloyd. No good. Rebound by Ernie Banks. Pass down to Lewis Lloyd. Lloyd at the midcourt line. Lloyd to the free throw line. He'll pull up. He'll fire. He'll score. 16 for Black Magic. 37-17. Drake by Jordan. A steal to the backcourt to Jeff Hill. Hill brings it down the wing. Hill now at the top of the circle. Looks for help. On the wing it goes to Ricky Wadley. Wadley back to Hill. Hill back to Wadley. Makes the move to the baseline. He holds up, comes back outside to Jeff Hill. Hill a surprise start, and he's really run the ball above well. Baseline to Banks for Wadley. With the ball, Anderson, he'll shoot, but a foul was called first. Foul called on the wing, and it's whistled against the Bulldogs.
Chant, you hear in the background the crowd yelling, Ernie, Ernie. As usual, very inspiring for the crowd with Banks in the lineup.
Lewis Lloyd will come out. Lloyd picking up his second foul. I said it was his first. Correct that. It is his second personal foul. He will leave, and now Tulsa will inbound. Stevenson into the right corner for Paul Pressing. The fact that Lewis Lloyd has gone to the bench could inspire Tulsa, let the Bulldogs handle them well. Anderson with the ball to the left corner as the ball kicked away by Ernie Banks. Picked up outside by Anderson. Free throw line to Pressing into the lane. It's blocked by Earl. Rebound saved on the sideline by Spradlin. Spradlin tries to go baseline to Stewart, and a foul is called on Drake, trying to knock the ball away from Drake Stewart. Officials Ron Detcher and Richard Highcourse confer on who picked up the foul. Ernie Banks was there, Ricky Wadley was there, and Ernie Banks picked up the personal. It will be his first and Drake's sixth. 7:40 to play in the half. Bob Ortigal stands up and signals something to his Drake defense. At the line will be Greg Stewart. Stewart with his 8-point night as a 63% free throw shooter, 2 out of 4 from the line tonight. A right-handed push is good. Stewart's got 9, and it is a 39-18 Drake lead. The Bulldogs leading by as many as 22. Next free throw by Stewart, no good, and the rebound is to Park Wright. Wright has the ball knocked away from behind by Stevenson. Last touch and rule by Drake. The Bulldog crowd can't believe it, and it'll be Tulsa basketball to the left of the goal. Bob Stevenson may have gotten away with one that time. The 6'6 senior out of Elk Lake, Pennsylvania, throws it into Spradlin, fires out of the right corner, no good. Rebound is grabbed by Stevenson, knocked away by Earl, trying to get back Stevenson, losing the floor. Park Wright picks it up. Park Wright picks it up. He objected to the last series of action, and Nolan Richardson has just fired up this Bulldog crowd even more by getting a big tee from referee Ron Vetcher. Nolan Richardson is... He walks right in front of Bob Ortigal, who's talking to Ernie Banks. Nolan Richardson delivering a blast at referee Ron Zetcher. Nolan Richardson has had that reputation this year, Jerry. He's the type who gets very fired up and doesn't contain himself well at times. He's picked up some technicals and has just run another as Lloyd will go to the line to shoot him. Free throw is good. 17 for Magic, 40-18 Drake.
Frequently, you get a technical foul to try to fire your team up. I suspect that one by Nolan Richardson was somewhat more out of frustration than out of psychology. Well, he misses the second technical free throw.
And now the Bulldogs will play the ball in at mid-floor. Lewis goes 1 out of 2 to the stripe, so he now has a 17-point first half. Into the lineup for the Tulsa Hurricane will be David Brown. Brown is a 6'8 junior college transfer out of West Texas Junior College, which is where Nolan Richardson was before he got the Tulsa job. Richardson posted a 101-13 record there in 3 seasons before becoming the head man at Tulsa, replacing Jim King. 40-18. The Bulldogs have equaled their biggest lead of the night and have a chance to make it more. So the ball is Ricky Watley. Watley drives on the left wing. Lewis Lloyd on the bench momentarily with 2 fouls is back in. Ernie Banks about ready to come back in the lineup for Drake. Right off to Watley on the left wing. Watley to the top of the circle for Jeff Hill. Hill between the rings. High post to Lloyd. Backs down the lane and is called for an offensive foul. He's got his third. He started to wheel to the hole, and as he did, Presley got in front of him, fell down with a contact, and the foul goes against Lewis Lloyd. Black Magic with his third. 7:04 left to play in the half, and at least for the moment, Lewis Lloyd will have to retire to the Pines in favor of Ernie Banks. Tulsa with the ball. Phil Spradling has it on the point to Anderson on the right wing. Anderson dribbles to the top of the circle, chased by Hill. Alley-oop to Presley, lays it in. Presley with a jump shot, and it's a 40-20 ball game. The Bulldogs lead is cut to 20, with 6:46 left to play in the half. Jerry, I believe this has got to be Drake's biggest first-half lead against the Division I team this year, as Watson gets it to the right wing.
And ironic that it comes against one of the best Division I opponents they've played.
Spradling deep in the right corner to Stewart, back outside to Presley. He'll shoot and score from 16. Paul Presley with his second hoop. 40-22 ball game. The game being played at a blistering pace, which is being dictated by the Bulldogs. 6:20 left to play in the first half, and Drake is up by 18. Hill with the ball on top of the circle, throws it on the wing to right. Baseline lob intended for Banks, fumbles it out of bounds. The ball will go back to Tulsa. Good defense by Paul Presley, who plays defense very well. The Golden Hurricane forced the Bulldogs into just their third turnover of the first half. 40-22, Drake with the lead. Anderson throws it on the wing. Now baseline lob to Stewart. Stewart got fouled by Banks, and Ernie has picked up his second personal foul. Well, Ernie's got to play well and stay out of foul trouble because Lewis Lloyd is in foul difficulty.
And Ernie has played well the last few games, of course. Started out well tonight. That's the second personal, though, as Larry mentioned, that could spell problems.
6:05 left to play in the half. The Bulldogs up to an 18-point lead. To the line for Tulsa, Greg Stewart. Stewart with a 9-point first half. Not been very good from the foul line, just 3 of 6. He cans the free throw. That gives him 10, and it's a 17-point lead for the Bulldogs at 40-23. One more for Greg Stewart. The junior college transfer out of the Bronx scored 14 the last time the Bulldogs and Hurricanes played. He hits them both, and the Bulldogs lead is down to 16 at 40-24 with 6:03 to go in the half. And now Tulsa applies their famed press for the first time tonight. Right out of the back court to Watley on the right sideline. Ricky bounces it off the Hill between the circles on the left wing for Wright. Wright goes into the lane. Wright stops. Wright pops, and Wright throws it up there too hard. Rebound right back to Pop. He'll gun it again. This time he got it. 14 for Pop in the first half. 42-24 Drake. 5:42 left to play in the half. That has been all Drake. Top of the circle, Anderson. Anderson lobs it on the right side for Spradling. Spradling against Wright on the wing to Anderson. He's been guarded on the man-to-man by Hill. A couple of graduates of Jackson-Oman High School and Birmingham squaring off against each other tonight. It goes to Stewart underneath, trying to drive as Brown, who plays the free foul. Wright tries to steal the ball away and succeeds in doing that, but at the expense of fouling. And for Pop, it'll be his first foul. And to the line will be David Brown for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. 5:22 left to play in the first half. Tulsa in the rears 42-24, getting an opportunity to try to get back into the game at the line. David Brown, whose teammates call him Sweet D, will go to the line. He was the most valuable player of the 16-team National Junior College Tournament the West Texas JC won last year. He misses the free throw. David Brown, who nearly played in a home uniform here at Vets Auditorium as he was highly recruited by Drake, this time on the free throw. Hill lobs in the right corner for Mark Wright. Wright brings it out on the wing. The Bulldogs up 42-24. Baseline lob from Wright to Earl, lays it in. The Bulldogs passing tonight has been exceptional.
It really has been. It's been crisp and it's been intense. They've really swung the ball well against Tulsa. That's been one of the keys.
At the top of the circle is Michael Anderson. Anderson hands it to Presley on the right sideline. Back to Phil Spradling. Spradling goes in the corner for David Brown. Drives to the base, shoots a 7-footer. To Ernie Banks. That's at the midcourt line to Wright. Wright to the free throw line. Baseline to Earl. Reverse layup. Earl has the hoop on. Earl has 9 first half points. And Drake leads at 46-24. Once again, equaling their biggest lead of the game.
I'm just stunned by what I'm seeing down on the floor.
It has been a work of beauty. Going in deep, Spradling lays it up, no good. Good defense by Earl to force the miss. Ball tipped up by Brown, no good. Rebound by Watley. The Bulldogs are dominating the board. They're shooting extremely well. Here's the ball stolen by Presley from Watley. He drives in deep, and Ricky fouled it. Not a very good foul by Ricky Watley, perhaps, as he picks up his second foul. And Presley will go to the line. Perhaps one of those frustration fouls on how to...
He's Drake's up by 22 points, and he's just slamming his chair around. down on the bench. He's upset with every single mistake that occurs tonight.
The Bulldogs are just 20 out of 33 to start the ball game. Not bad at all. At the line is Presley. He sinks the free throw. Presley with a total of 5 points. At 20 out of 33 measures out to 61% according to statistician Ben Tinson is Presley calculator. The free throw by Paul Presley is good. He has got 6. Bob Ortigal goes to his bench for Charlie Nichols, replacing Ricky Watley. 46-26, Wright by 20. 4:13 left to play in the half. Ricky Watley will leave the lineup as Charlie Nichols comes in. A moment ago, Tony Watson came in. So the Bulldogs now have Watson along with Nichols and Earl up front. The guards are Wright and Hill, and Wright is fouled by Stewart. Wright tried to bring the ball down against 6'9" Greg Stewart, and a push-off is spotted. Or corrected, make it, isn't it?
Yes, he really has. He's put up 14 shots from the field as he converts on his first free throw attempt of the night. He's put up 14 shots from the field and has hit on 7 of those.
So he apparently recovering from that one-game slump when he was 3 out of 11 at Creighton. The first free throw by Wright is good. The second one is not. The rebound, though, comes down to Charlie Nichols. Dives to the floor trying to get it. He gets it on his knees. Bounces it off for Donnie Earl. Earl tries to drive between a double team. Throws it intended for Nichols. He gets it on the right baseline. Nichols comes back outside to Wright. Wright backs up to the top of the circle. Wright bouncing on the wing for Jeff Hill. Jeff, a surprise starter, has gone all the way tonight at point guard. Top of the circle to Wright. Wright goes to the line extended left, puts it up and in. Continues with his hot shooting as he hits his 17th point of the first half. Wright and Lloyd have 34. The Bulldogs 49 points, 49-26. Great for the lead. Tulsa with the basketball outside. And now this 23-point burst represents the biggest Bulldog lead of the evening. Greg Stewart in the left wing off of Bruce Vanley, who's just come in. He shoots left of the lane, can't get it. Rebound grab by Hill. Hill quickly across the timeline. Goes in the left corner to Pop Wright. Wright puts it to the floor, and it's called for an offensive foul. Foul called on Mike Anderson. Bob Ortigal doesn't believe the call. And I think he's probably got good point to not believe it. Anderson looked like he did a great acting job as he was barely brushed by Pop Wright. Wright with his second personal foul.
A close call, but there have been a number of those that have gone our way, the Drake's way, we should say, earlier in the ballgame.
Drake by 23, Tulsa with the ball, Anderson on the right wing. Ron Angel about ready to come in for the Bulldogs. With the ball on the wing for Tulsa is Spradling, dribbles to the free throw line, throws for Anderson on the left side of the floor. Anderson against Jeff Hill, stops in the left angle, top of the circle, passes to Phil Spradling. Spradling around the right side to Mike Anderson. Anderson dribbles into the lane, holds up, spins 360, puts up an off-balance shot. No good, gets his own rebound, tries it again, this time he banks it in. Good recovery by Mike Anderson to get his own rebound and drill it through, and the Bulldogs lead is 21 with 2:39 left to play in the first half. That has been a brilliant one for Drake. Hill lobs to Earl, left of the lane. In the left corner to Hill, back to Donnie Earl. Earl free throw line to Nichols. He's open, but he walks with it. Charlie probably should have stood up and shot right from the free throw line. Instead, he tried to penetrate and got called for the walk.
It's been several weeks since Charlie Nichols has played very much at all, at least in game situations, and probably a little difficult for him to get back in the flow of it.
Right out, Angel in. Jerry, this is the first change in the guard court for Drake tonight.
It is.
An alley-oop pass inside to Presley. He leaps up and tips it into the hole on the alley-oop outside from Anderson. 49-30, Drake with a 19-point lead. 2:16 to play in the half. Is Hill throwing it away over the head of Ron Angel. Angel saves it in bounds, but to Tulsa's Anderson. Ahead to Presley, indeed slam dunks.
Ron shouldn't have saved it in bounds. The rule is you save it in bounds to a possible fast break opportunity for your opponent. You don't do it.
Angel lobs to Hill, and a shove is spotted on Stewart. Greg Stewart turns around and objects to the call of referee Ron Zetcher. 1:59 left to play in the half. Drake 49, Tulsa 32. The Bulldogs will be on the line in the person of Jeff Hill. Hill, who was not expected to start the ball game, has played every minute of the game thus far. The Bulldogs have turned it over just 7 times compared to Tulsa's 4. However, Drake doing an outstanding job from the field. The Bulldogs have hit 21 out of 34 shots. They have hit 4 in a row. And in addition to that, Drake controls the boards by a margin of 26-12. Now, Terry Youngbauer will come into the ballgame for the first time tonight. He will replace Charlie Nichols. So the Bulldogs will have 3 guards in the lineup for a moment as Ron Angel, Terry Youngbauer, and Jeff Hill will be there alongside Donnie Earl and Ernie Banks. The free throw is no good by Hill, and the rebound in the lane is grabbed by Spradling, and Banks fouls trying to get it back. And that has really been about the only thing Drake hasn't done especially well tonight. Jerry, it's rare, if ever, that the Bulldogs have had Hill, Youngbauer, and Angel in the lineup at the same time.
It's, I think, a first on the season. I'd be interested. I'm sure Jeff Hill will play the point. In what will be a 3-guard offense. They might try and go into the spread when they come back down to the offensive end of the floor.
At the line, Phil Spradling. We talked about it earlier, but with the great press that Tulsa has, down by 17, they are far from out of it.
That's absolutely right. Spradling's 1-1, front end misses. Drake Laurie is 7 of 13 from the free throw line.
The Bulldogs have hit 4 shots in a row, bring it up from right to left. It's Youngbauer on the right sideline. Double team by the half-court trap. Off the hill, back to Youngbauer. Youngbauer dribbles to the top of the circle. He hands it off to Ron Angel as the Bulldogs go into a spread with 1:40 left to play in the half. And now you see why there are 3 guards in the ballgame. With the ball is Youngbauer. Youngbauer is trapped, dribbles out of the trap, dribbles to the left wing. Trapped again, flips it back for Banks. Banks back to Youngbauer, sideline right to Angel. Angel fakes left, comes back right, stationary on his dribble, and got tied up in the 5-second violation is going to be called. And for Ron Angel to get it back, he will have to jump against 6'9" Greg Stewart at the Bulldog circle. Angel is only 6'1". A minute 23 to play in the half. Break up 49-32 as this jump ball occurs. Big possession if Tulsa can get it. They can cut it to 15, which really is not bad considering they trail by as many as 23. Lewis Lloyd on the bench with 3 fouls for the Bulldogs. That's another reason this game far from out of reach. Tulsa easily wins the tap. Anderson passes right to Spradling. He'll lay it in. Anderson, an excellent passer, and it is a 49-34, 15-point lead for Drake with 1:13 left to play. Normally 15 would sound big, but after talking in terms of 23, now it's a little shaky. Here's Hill on the left sideline for the Bulldogs. Holds up the dribble, throws it to Ron Angel. Angel goes to the midcourt line to retrieve it off to Terry Youngbauer. Youngbauer looks in. The Bulldogs have gone to the spread with 55 seconds to play in the half. They'd be content to play for the last shot, enjoying a big advantage. 50 seconds to go in the half, and Drake trying to cling to a 15-point lead and take that to the dressing room at the halftime. We're actually trying to make it 17. Angel off the heel, right side to Youngbauer. Youngbauer dribbles to the midcourt line, being chased by Pressey. Now trapped, gets the ball on the left sideline for Hill. Hill baseline lob to Youngbauer, reverse layup. Nice pass by Jeff Hill. Terry Youngbauer hits the first shot he takes tonight, and it's a 17-point Drake lead at 51-34. 25 seconds left to play in the half. Spradling down for Tulsa. On the wing it goes to Stewart, outside to Spradling. Spradling cross-court to Anderson on the right wing. Anderson free throw line to Spradling to Stewart, fumbles it, gets it back, 12 seconds to play in the half. Back outside to Anderson. Anderson works the ball on the right wing for Spradling. Goes in deep, puts it up, hits the side of the backboard. Rebound by Pressey, follow shot no good. Rebound volleyball around with 3 seconds with 2. Rebound by Spradling, hits it at the horn of the basket, will count. And at halftime, the Bulldogs will go to the dressing room enjoying a 15-point bulge that was as many as 23. Our halftime score is Wright 51, Tulsa 36. You're in 2 with Drake basketball on tape.
I think they might be to a certain extent in the tank a bit. Wichita, on the other hand, needs to win now to win the conference championship. They need to keep winning, and I think that Wichita can win any night it sets its mind to doing so.
The Bulldogs come onto the floor at 11,418 in attendance here tonight. Give them a big round of applause. Drake leads 51-36, and we'll be back with the second half tip-off right after this time out on KSO.
Come and brighten up your nightlife at your home lighting headquarters, the Lighting Gallery, where there's always a great selection of the finest names in interior lighting. Light a
Tournament tickets must be paid for by
First, one of them was talking to Richardson and the other to Ortigal. Now the officials are reversed, so they're both getting their shots in at each coach. I think that the talk to Ortigal a bit gratuitous. The problem wasn't with Ortigal in any way, shape, or form in the first half. It was exclusively the province of Nolan Richardson, who's already picked up 1 technical foul against the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. So what you're going to see is the usual situation where the first few minutes absolutely critical, as Drake is going to continue to control the tempo and control the basketball game. They've got to do it from the opening jump, not let Tulsa claw back into it.
Ironically, the only shooting half better than the 61% first half performance by Drake was the first half at Indiana State. And we remember what happened to a big lead on that occasion.
I wish you hadn't said that.
We are ready to begin the second half. Drake leads at 51-36. Jeff Hill gets the opening pass from Lewis Lloyd, and the Bulldogs have it going from left to right. At the top of the circle is Wadley on the wing to Hill. Baseline to Lloyd. Backs in, turns, fires over Stewart, and scores. And for Black Magic, it is a 19-point ball game. And the Bulldogs lead at 53-36 as we're just underway the second half. Drake going with Wadley along with Hill, also Pop Wright, Donnie Earl, and Lewis Lloyd, who plays with 3 fouls. The Hurricane countering with Anderson, Spradling. Also in the lineup is Greg Stewart, David Brown. Anderson did not start the ball game, by the way, and Paul Pressey. Pressey shoots left of the lane. It rolls the rim, comes out, rebound put up and in by Greg Stewart. Stewart right in front of the goal on the follow shot, and it is 53-38 Drake with 19-19 to go in the game. Here's Wright in deep for Lloyd. Lloyd wheels into the lane, running right-hander from 5 is good. And Black Magic is having an outstanding night. He is now 2 out of 2 for the half and 8 out of 11 for the game for the field. Bringing it down for the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes, Bill Spradling. Throws to Anderson between the circles. Anderson up the back door to Presley. He'll lay it in. Presley sneaking through on the right side. Anderson bouncing the ball, and he scores, and it's 55-40. Anderson getting the start in the second half ahead of Paul Presley at guard. Presley moving to a forward spot, and it's Bob Stevenson, who was a forward to start the ball game, who's on the bench as the half begins. Lloyd a turnaround from the free throw line. He's 3 for 3 in the second half. Lloyd has not missed a shot he has taken in the second half. 57-40 Drake. Bringing it down for Tulsa, David Brown into the lane. Running right-hander, got it. And the shooting hot for both ball clubs at the outset of the second half. Drake with a 15-point lead at 57-42. The Bulldogs have hit all 3 shots they've taken in the half. Tulsa missed their first and hit their next 3. Lloyd from the right baseline scores again. Black Magic 4 of 4 from the half. And for the ball game now, 25 points. It is 59-42 Bulldogs with 18-11 to play. Bob Ortigo standing up and wanting his defense to come out on Tulsa. Ball tipped by Lloyd, stolen by Hill, ahead to Wright, to the lane, Hill finger roll it in. Top right, he missed a layup earlier, slowed down, made darn sure he wasn't going to miss that one. 61-42 Bulldogs, with just under 18 to go. Spradling on the wing for Stewart in the left corner. Stewart guarded by Lloyd, who plays with 3 fouls. He backs in on Lloyd, turns, shoots, and scores over Lewis Lloyd. And Stewart has hit 2 buckets here in the opening moments of the second half. 61-44 is the count. Bulldogs with the lead, 17-40 to play. Wright shoots in the right wing, and no good, but he got fouled. Anderson again complaining as he picked up his 3rd personal foul, and that's the first foul called in the second half. The officials in the first half trying to keep a deal for a total of 17 points. That is a point a minute because he played 17 and a half minutes in the first stanza. Pop coming into tonight's ball game in 7th place, the all-time Drake scoring list. He looked for his 20th point of the night. It's right there. 20 for Wright and 25 for Lewis Lloyd. The big scoring story for the Bulldogs. One more for Pop Wright, the senior out of Baltimore, pushes it home. Wright's got 4.5, 20 once the game, and the Bulldogs keep the pressure on the Hurricane, and now lead us by 19. 17 to play. Here's the ball stolen by Lewis Lloyd. Lloyd in deep for Hill. Back to Lloyd. Left for 5 seconds. Missed it. Rebound by Stevenson. Stevenson was right up there with him. Lewis put it in the cylinder too hard and came back out on it. Spradling on the wing, hands it off to Presley. Presley top of the circle to Anderson, back to Presley on the right wing. Baseline to Stewart, turns into crowded territory, shoots and scores it again. Stewart 3 of 3 for the half and for the ball game now. Greg Stewart is connected on 6 out of 9. 63-46 Drake, beats the Lloyd, knocked away, and coming back with it is Tulsa. Bad pass by Jeff Hill. Bringing down, Hill steals it back for Drake. 3-on-1 Drake break, off to Wright, shoots for the right wing, banks it up, around, and in. The Bulldogs are getting a hot streak, and the bounces are going right. 23 for Wright, 65-46 Bulldogs with 16:46 to go.
Tulsa's come out very hot in the second half, but Drake's been equal to the occasion and actually has increased the lead by 4.
The ball, Anderson on the right wing. Spradling cuts through to take the pass on the right sideline. Spradling dribbles to his left, shoots behind a pick by Stevenson. No good. Rebound grabbed by Stevenson on the right corner. Stevenson baseballs it to Anderson on the right wing. He goes back to Stevenson deep in the right corner. Stevenson hasn't played much tonight for a starter, averaging in double figures. He has in the right corner, moves around Darnley Earl to the lane, puts up a left-hand shot, no good. Rebound is grabbed by Presley, and a foul is called. Watley and Lloyd were both standing there, and it is Ricky Watley who draws the personal foul. That for Watley is his 3rd. So now Banks, Watley, and Lloyd all have 3 fouls apiece. And Bob Stevenson will come back out of the ball game for the Tulsa Hurricane. Stevenson has been playing a lot this year, averaging more than 25 minutes a game, but has seen very limited action tonight. And bounce feed comes to Anderson on the right wing. Bounces on the right sideline for David Brown. Brown also playing with 3 fouls. Cross court to Anderson in the left corner. Wants to shoot behind a pick by Stewart, but a foul is called on Stewart for an illegal pick. Stewart sent a moving pick and drew the personal foul. That is his 2nd, and is the 2nd called on Tulsa here in the second half. Drake has been whistled for 1. The Bulldogs have played out of the backcourt. Jeff Hill has played every minute of this ball game and did an outstanding job in the first half when he dished out 6 assists and had just 1 turnover. Takes the inbound feed. Eric Sampson has come into the lineup, replacing Ricky Watley with those 3 fouls. Watley going to the bench.
Eric's entry into the game means that all 6 Drake seniors have been in the lineup at some time tonight.
Lloyd, baseline right to Earl, drives underneath, throws it on the baseline for Sampson. He has it stuffed by Presley, saves it, bounce to Anderson. Great play by Presley. Anderson now has the ball taken away by Pop Wright, and Wright calls for the holdout. Kamikaze effort by Pop as he went in trying to steal the ball, and Wright picks up his 3rd foul. The Bulldogs now have their 2nd, and the foul situation becomes a bit critical as 3 Bulldog starters, Wright, Lloyd, and Watley, have 3 fouls apiece. Bob Ortigal summons Ron Angel to his side and will probably send him into the game shortly. David Brown handles for Tulsa. Baseline Stewart. Turnaround jumper over Lloyd. No good. And underneath trying to rebound is David Brown. Reaches over the top of Eric Sampson and picks up his 4th foul. Brown has got 4. Stewart has got a pair for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Anderson has got 3. Those are their players in foul difficulty. Ron Angel will come into the lineup for Drake. And also a change for the Hurricane with those 4 fouls. David Brown will have to exit. And Phil Stradling comes in to take his place. So now the Hurricane has Stewart, Plessy, Stevenson, Stradling, and Anderson. The Bulldogs play with Hill, Sampson, Angel, Lloyd, and Earl. Angel with the ball, a step in front of the midcourt line, lobs to Hill. Hill works on the left side of the floor, throws it into the left corner for Eric Sampson. Sampson brings it out on the left wing, intended for Angel. Ball intercepted by Stevenson, drives in deep on Hill, puts it up, and no good off to the left. Stevenson, his own rebound, goes in deep, hits the underside of the backboard with a shot, and it goes out of bounds, and Donnie Earl rebounded it. He was standing out of bounds when he did. The ball will go back to Tulsa. Stevenson in crowded territory, triple team put it up at the underside of the backboard. The ball caromed down to Earl, who was standing out of bounds, so Tulsa gets a break. Inbound feed is flagged away by Lewis Lloyd. Lloyd steals the pass intended for Stradling off the Hill. He throws it away back to Ron Angel, and suddenly it's hot potato time. Nobody can gain control of the basketball.
Well, Drake needs to, when they get the basketball the next time, they need to make sure they work for a good shot. Their lead is still 19, but they haven't scored in about 1 minute and 45 seconds. Jeff needs to just come down the next time and make sure they get a good shot.
Tulsa had 4 turnovers in the first half. They've already committed 5 in the second half. Drake 11 for the game. 3 of them have come in this half after 8 in the first half. Tulsa with the ball, trailing at 65-46 into the lane. Pressey finger rolls it in. Good move by Paul Pressey inside. He's got 14 points, and it's 65-48. The Bulldogs lead 17 with 14:53 left to play. Hill in the corner to Donnie Earl. Earl midway down the lane to Sampson. Offensive foul on Sampson. Player control foul. Eric Sampson with his first, the Bulldogs with their 3rd. And Bob Ortigal stands up, hands on hip, and delivers a blast at referee Ron Zetcher, and then calls Eric Sampson over to explain the proper technique in that particular situation. Bringing it in for Tulsa is Phil Stradling. Tulsa going from right to left here in the second half of play. Tulsa's really done a better job on the glass in the second half, and that's why they've somewhat come back on day, because Stradling shoots out of the left corner and scores. He's in double figures with 10, and it's 65-50. The lead once again, the 15-point halftime lead that the Bulldogs enjoyed. Drake will apply full-court pressure. Inbound feed from Sampson to Angel. Angel a three-pointer court, bounce it off to Hill. Hill over the timeline against Stradling. Bulldogs doing a good job on the press. In deep for Lloyd. Lloyd runs into the lane, goes across it, shoots from the right wing, too hard. Rebound tipped by Sampson, picked up by Stradling for Tulsa. Stradling across the 10-second line. Stradling in deep on the right side, right-hand jump hook, good. And Tulsa's back to the 13, and still Stradling connects, and Bob Ortigal calls a timeout. The Bulldogs have been beaten 7-1 on the boards in the first 5.5 minutes of the second half. Timeout break.
Drake still has a 29-24 rebound advantage, but in the second half it's been an 8-1 edge for the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes.
Jeff Hill dribble drives on the right sideline for the Bulldogs, is trapped by the half-court trap for Tulsa, and a 5-second violation, no, a traveling violation called against Jeff Hill. Hill double team tried to get out of difficulty and traveled with the ball. He then holds it until referee Rich Eichhorst comes and takes it away from him. Tulsa with the ball, they're back within 13, and Jerry, this is where they use their press so effectively. Anderson with the ball on the right wing, off to Stewart on the right sideline. Top of the circle to Stradling. Stradling in the left corner for Anderson. The Bulldogs have gone into a 2-1-2 zone. Anderson midway down the lane, shovels to Stewart, shoots down the lane, and Pickett Vanley shoots down the lane and scores. Bruce Vanley inserted by Nolan Richardson into the Tulsa lineup at the timeout. 65-54, Tulsa closes to within 11, closest they've been for a long time. Against the press, Donnie Earl takes the pass into the front court. For Hill on the left sideline for Eric Sampson. He's trapped, bounces off to Angel, shoots to the right wing, banks in and out, and back in. The Bulldogs are getting the bounces. It was in, it came out, it dropped back through, and Drake leads it by 13 with 13 minutes and 24 seconds left to play.
Very big basket as Tulsa had quite a good run underway.
At the top of the circle, Stradling shoots a pass to the corner for Anderson, who will fire from there and drill it. And Anderson has got his second hoop, his fifth point, 67-56, Drake. Once again, to see Tulsa close to within 11 as Terry Youngbauer will replace Jeff Hill. Bob Ortigal perhaps feeling that Youngbauer will do a better job against the Tulsa full-court trap. With the basketball is Youngbauer off to Angel. Angel is stepped behind the midcourt line. Tries to come into the front court. Is trapped. Doubles into the forecourt. Throws it away. And the ball is coming up with by Mike Anderson for Tulsa. Anderson guns it ahead. The ball knocked down by Eric Sampson and stolen by Lewis Lloyd. The Bulldogs get it right back. Lloyd to the free throw line. Ready. Aim. Fire. 27 for Lloyd. And the Bulldogs are up by 13 at 69 to 56. 12:48 to go.
Wright getting ready to check back in, too, and then the Bulldogs will have a much better ball handling lineup against the Tulsa full-court pressure.
In the corner, Anderson lobs to Vanley. Vanley midway down the lane, turns, fires, no good to the left. Rebound grab by Stewart, trying to knock away Sampson. Youngbauer tries to take it away and bounces it out of bounds off of his leg. He tried to bounce it behind him off Stewart's leg, but the official, Ron Zetcher, did not see it that way. Wright replaces Ron Angel in the Bulldog lineup. So now for Drake, it is Sampson, Lloyd, Wright, Youngbauer, and the other Bulldog in the lineup is Donnie Earl. So it's the usual starting lineup, save one. Sampson in for Watley with 3 personal fouls. Rookies on the bench. Tulsa with the ball, trailing at 69-56. Every possession becomes a key win for them with 12:24 to play. The wing for Tulsa, Paul Pressey, top of circle Stradling. Right corner, Anderson. Anderson has a shot on the way for the right baseline. No good. Rebound is controlled by Greg Stewart. Goes right back up with it. Misses the layup cut. Gets his own rebound. Tries it again. Got it knocked away by Eric Sampson, and the foul is called on Eric. Bob Ortigal says he travels. Jerry Crawford says he travels. But the only opinion that counts is Ron Zetcher's, and he says foul on Eric Sampson.
Eric clearly did foul him. I just thought that he walked a few steps to get to the place where Eric did it.
Probably a point well taken. Nolan Richardson has shed his sport coat. He walks over to the scorer's table, says something to Paul Morrison, checking on the foul situation. Let us see who was against, and the answer was Eric Sampson. The free throw shooter for Tulsa, Greg Stewart, misfires on the first one. Stewart with a 6-point half and a 17-point ball game. He's averaging 14.1. His season high 26 against the Buffs of West Texas State. The free throw good by Stewart. He now has 18, and it is 69-57. Great lead is 12 with 12:07 left to play. That is still way too little of a lead for the Bulldogs to think that they got Tulsa taken care of. Here's Youngbauer dribbling to the left sideline against the half-court trap off the Sampson at the free throw line. He holds up, goes to Wright. Wright shoots from the left wing. No good. Rebound right in front of the goal by Sampson. Goes back up with it and drew a foul. Eric Sampson fumbled it when he tried to go back up with it, or he might have had a clear shot at the hoop. As it is, he got fouled by Mike Anderson, and that may be a better exchange because Anderson has just picked up his 4th personal foul. And Eric Sampson, fouled on the act of shooting, will go to the line. The team fouls are now even. Both have 4. Stradling to come into the Golden Hurricane lineup, probably for Anderson, as Stradling will come in and Anderson will leave, and Sampson goes to the line. Interesting to note, Jerry, that between Stradling and Mike Anderson, Nolan Richardson thinks he's got 2 guards of equal ability, and he essentially alternates them in his starting lineup.
I think he's right. I think that Stradling's a better offensive player, but both fine point guards.
The free throw by Eric Sampson skips out. Remember, in the first meeting, the Bulldogs lost it at the line when they shot just 13 of 28 from the line. They're going to have to do a better job here. Eric does hit the next free throw, and the Bulldogs lead by 13 with 11:48 left to play. Stradling on the dribble drive for Tulsa. Pulls up at the free throw line, guns and scores. Stradling with 14. The Bulldogs lead cut back to 11 at 70-59 with 11:36 left to play. Jerry, it seems like the clock is barely running, doesn't it?
Reminds me of the game at Amarillo against West Texas.
As you would say, go clock, go. Into the lane, Lewis Lloyd. Double pump, puts it up. No good. Rebound tip by Earl right there. Donnie Earl's got 11 points. 72-59 Drake. 11:20 left to play. For Tulsa, Stewart has the ball knocked out of his hands by Earl, and Donnie made contact, and the foul is called on Earl. Earl with his 2nd personal foul, 5th on Drake in the foul department. Wright, Lloyd, Watley, and Banks, 3 apiece for Drake. Earl, Sampson, 2, and Jeff Hill, 1. For Tulsa, Mike Anderson with 4, David Brown with 4, and nobody else with more than 2. Inbound speed comes for Stewart. He tries to move inside of territory. Sampson goes for the steal, and Eric picks up the foul. And so now the Bulldogs are dangerously close to sending Tulsa into the bonus situation. That is their 5th. A couple of more, and Tulsa will be shooting free throws. Eric Sampson with his 3rd foul. Bob Ortigal also has to start worrying about his depth at forward, with everybody getting into some foul trouble. Stradling with the ball, throws it free throw line, extended all the way to the right sideline to Pressey. Pressey top of the circle. Now it goes to the corner to Stradling. Stradling back outside for Greg Stewart. On the wing for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane is Phil Stradling. Stradling will shoot out the left baseline and score it. And Phil Stradling is now connected on 16 of the ballgame. For correct that. Spradling with a total in the game out 16. That is right. 8 in each half. Youngbauer out of the backcourt. Youngbauer hands it ahead for Wright. Wright back to Youngbauer. Youngbauer dribble drives into the front court. Goes to the free throw line, extended right. Baseline intended for Lloyd. Pass is intercepted by Spradling. Spradling comes down, goes in deep, and slam dunks with a handoff to Presley. Presley slam dunks it. He has now got 16 points. And now the Bulldogs will use a timeout. Timeout break with 10 minutes and 34 seconds left to play. And our score is Tulsa goes to within 9. Drake 7% from the field and 50% from the line. Tulsa's back to within 9. This is the closest they have been in a long time. They had a modest 4-point run, so Bob Ortigal called a quick timeout. Jeff Hill with the ball. Corner to Wiley. He travels with it. And Tulsa has a chance to pull back to within 7. A couple of other scores of interest in the Valley. At Wichita, the big one, it's the Shockers by 7 over the Blue Jays at the half, 42-35. West Texas State with a big lead over Indiana State in the second half with 18 minutes to play. It's West Texas 53 and the Sycamores 34. The Shockers with the loss would have no chance of climbing out of the 7th spot in the playoff picture, the 8th spot in the league standings, with West Texas State not being eligible. With the ball for Tulsa is Brad LaBrava, who just checked into the lineup at the last timeout off to Spradling. Spradling on the left side for Stewart. Baseline lob for Vanley. He beats Lloyd and lays it in. Lloyd with 3 fouls had to lay off. Vanley hit the hoop, and Tulsa's back to within 7 at 72-65 with a long 9:45 to play. Wadley trapped in the backcourt, bounces for Hill. Hill dribbles to the right wing, goes on the right sideline for Pop Wright. Wright holds the ball high. Turns back at the top of the circle for Hill. Swings it into the left corner for Wiley. Free throw line to Wright. Takes the dribble. Takes the shot. Bingo! Pop Wright with 25. 74-65. Great. 9:24 to go. Stewart on the left sideline for the Tulsa Hurricanes. Dressed in their blue uniforms with red numerals and gold trim. On the wing to Brad LaRava. LaRava on the left angle. Dribbles to the top of the circle. LaRava comes on the right side to Stewart. He'll put it up. Miss it off to the left. Lloyd with a rebound for the Bulldogs. Lloyd bounced it off to Hill. Exactly 9 to play. The Bulldogs are up by 9. Big possession for Drake. Lewis Lloyd with the ball. Free throw line extended right outside against the Tulsa zone. On the wing it goes to Jeff Hill. The Bulldogs spread it out, looking for some high percentage shots. Wadley deep in the left corner. Goes back out to Hill on the left wing. Hill backs up to the midcourt line. Lobs for Lewis Lloyd. Lloyd bounces in the right corner from Pop Wright. Tulsa's gone into a 2-3 zone. But the basketball is Wright using the right wing. Got it again. Good row for Pop Wright. He's got 27. And Drake's lead is 11 with 8 minutes and 34 seconds left. And a timeout taken by Tulsa. Timeout Hurricane, 8.5 to play. Our score is Drake 76, Tulsa 65. On the radio home of the Bulldogs, KSO.
Dabo's Restaurant and Lounge remembers old world traditions. Delicious food, expertly blended zesty Italian sauces, homemade pasta. These are just things of the past at Dabo's, where you're invited to savor the old world traditions that make Italian dining an unforgettable experience. Dabo's Restaurant and Lounge, Blue and Valley Drive.
Taste the fun, the true Italian feeling, and discover the Italian in you.
The leather shoe at Mulhay Mall, well aware that you are more conscious of quality and service than ever before and have the right to demand it, welcomes you to visit with our staff of shoe professionals who have more than 100 years of combined experience. And right now at our North Arcade location, we're in the midst of a semi-annual clearance on selected groups of famous label shoes and boots. The leather shoe offers all racked shoes.
Valley Conference in that department. Tonight they're shooting 64% through with 8 minutes and a half left in the ball game. The Hurricane 47%. Rebound still a great advantage at 32-27.
Also with the ball, Vanley at the free throw line. Turns, faces the hoop. Has it back outside to Paul Pressey. Pressey guarded by Pop Wright. Off to Spradling. Spradling in the right corner to Vanley, who played well off the bench against the Bulldogs at Tulsa. Back it comes to Pressey in the right angle. A head and shoulder fake. Dribbles to the top of the circle. Bulldogs playing good defense. Ball in the lane to Stewart. He travels with it. Johnny Earl and Ricky Wiley forcing the travel, and the ball goes back to Drake as the Golden Hurricane have turned it over for the 16th time tonight. 8:08 to play. 76-65. Drake with the lead and the ball. Hill dribbles to the top of the circle. Rubs off on the left wing. Spradling chasing it. Tulsa goes back into a man. No, correct it. They stay in the zone. With the ball outside is Pop Wright. Tulsa back in a 2-3 zone. Wright with the ball on the left sideline. High post goes to Johnny Earl. Right corner to Wadley. Baseline to Lloyd. Double team. Shoots and scores. Stepping and stopping Lewis Lloyd tonight. He got 16 against the Golden Hurricane last time out. He has 29 tonight. We have 7:39 to play. The ball comes out of bounds by Greg Stewart of Tulsa, and the ball will go back to the Bulldogs. Tulsa's turned it over scored twice in as many trips down the floor. Ballard is about to come into the ball game. You would anticipate for Stewart, and that's the change. Steve Ballard, who started the ball game against the Bulldogs in Tulsa because Stevenson was hurt, will come into the lineup. He's a sophomore out of Muskogee. Played very well, or played very little, I should say, in the first half. Shot on the left corner by Pop Wright is in and out. Bandley clears for Tulsa. And to Spradling in deep for Pressey, slam dunk. Pressey really goes high. He's 6'5", but he can sky, and he's got 18 points. 78-67 the score. The Bulldogs with the advantage with 7:22 to play. Full court pressure is used by Tulsa. Inbound feed from Wadley to Earl, Earl to Wadley to Wright. Wright at three-quarter court. Holds up, looks for help. Hands to Wadley. Wadley crosses the timeline on the left sideline. 7:13 left to play. Where the ball is right at the free throw line. Ready? Aim, fire, shoot! And Pop Wright continues his torrid shooting. Wright now with 29, and it's 80-67. Drake has rebuilt the lead to 13 after Tulsa cut it to 7 at 72-65. Here's the ball stolen inside by Jeff Hill. Hill across the 10-second line. Hill to the free throw line. Hill backs up to the top of the circle. On the wing it goes to Wadley. Wadley looks in the corner to Lloyd. Lloyd is bottled up, so he dribbles the ball himself to the free throw line. Goes in the right corner for Pop Wright. Right on the wing to Wadley. Wadley backs in, shoots from the baseline, and it's in and out. Rebound by Lloyd. Puts it right back up. No, but he got fouled. Foul on Ballard. Ballard with his third. Black Magic will go to the line with 8:37. Lewis Lloyd hit the floor hard, and so he takes a fives and that would work effectively for him. He shuttled his lineup from the early moments of the game when Drake was building what at one point was a 23-point advantage. At the line, Lewis Lloyd. Tonight he has been brilliant as per usual. 29 points. He's not been to the foul line in this half. In the first half, he was 5 out of 6. His right-handed push, perfect. 30 for Black Magic. 29 for Pop Wright. Those two seniors, should this be their last home game, have gone out of the blaze of glory. 81-67. Drake, free throw good. So by holding on to the lead and by winning the ball game, the Bulldogs really enhance their chances of coming back to Betts Auditorium in the playoffs. For the basketball, Paul Pressey for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. In the left corner to Spradling. He'll put it up from there. It's in and out. Rebound by Stevenson. Follows it up and in. Bob Stevenson, his first hoop of the night, and he is the starter. 82-69. Drake by 13. 6:20 left to play. Ricky Wadley loses control of the dribble, but goes to the left wing to retrieve it. Double dribble they call on Ricky Wadley. Wadley actually kicked it with his finger. When he went back to retrieve it, he got called for the double dribble, and Frank Sylvester has both arms spread, saying, "How can you call that?" And Rich Eichhorst nods affirmatively and said that's what it was. But Ricky Wadley opposed by stealing it right back, and now stealing it away from him, Pressey. He dribbles it out of bounds, and the Bulldogs will get it back. Wadley stole it from David Brown, who's just come into the ballgame. He'd been on the bench for 4 fouls. Ricky Wadley makes a mistake at one end, but atones for it to steal at the other. Inbound feed comes to Earl. Earl lobs to Hill. Hill over the timeline. Hill on the wing. Hill in the corner to Earl. I rather to right. He'll put it up there. Pop Wright out of the right corner connects. And Pop Wright has got 31 points, 3 from the career high. Also throws it away again. That is 5 trips down the floor as the Hurricane have turned it over. Since the last time out, Tulsa's come down the floor and thrown it away 5 of the last 6 times. 5 of the last 6 times. One time they scored on the Stevenson hoop, but 5 of the last 6 they have thrown it away. And now the Bulldogs throw it away. Wadley loses it. Coming down for Tulsa, David Brown spins, fires, rolls off. Hit by Brown is good. David Brown tips in his own shot. Jerry, it's been a wild basketball game, but a great one to watch. Bulldogs by 13, 5:37 to play. That's kind of what I've been doing. Hill lost in the right corner to Pop Wright. It's too good a game to work, I'll say that. Really. Wright is trapped. Flips it off to Lloyd. Lloyd on the left sideline. Phillips to the top of the circle. The Bulldogs now spread it out. They've used the spread very effectively this year. They go to it with 5:18 to play and a 13-point lead. It's the ball jumped up by Lloyd. The spread works. Lewis Lloyd gets an uncontested jump shot, and he drills it 33 for Magic. 86-71 Bulldogs. 5:06 to play. Tulsa will have just one more time with it. Our score, Wright 86, Tulsa 71 on the radio home of the Bulldogs, KSO. The ball game, and wondering why they waited this long.
Well, it's a pleasure to have my grandparents here this evening, Dorothy and Walter and Adam. Rural West Florida here in the overhang. My grandmother's a little worried about her blood pressure, she tells me.
86-71. The Bulldogs with the lead. 5 minutes left to play. Anderson has come back in despite the fact he has 4 fouls. He throws it away. Donnie Earl took it from him, but then Donnie walked. Never got control of the dribble after making the steal. And the ball will go back to Tulsa with 4:57 to plate. Into the lineup for the Hurricane now comes Brad LaRaba, a freshman from El Paso, Texas, appearing in just his 9th ball game. He will replace Anderson. So Anderson, with those 4 fouls, got in, turned it over, and goes right back out. Straddling with the inbound speed in the right corner. On the wing, it comes to David Brown, top of the circle to LaRaba. LaRaba goes down the wing to Straddling. Straddling makes the move to the right baseline, banks it up to 12, won't go. Rebound is tipped outside to Pop Wright. Wright goes in deep on the left side, pulls up, fires from 16, and scores. Pop Wright with a ball back jumper. He's got 33, a point away from making the career high. They get it now. He steals, he shoots, he scores!
He wanted desperately to break his scoring record here at the auditorium. He was a prophet.
It's a turnaround jumper by Brown. No good from the right. The rebound taken by Ricky Riley. This may be the night that Jerry Crawford unveils his singing ability to the world. Baseline lob for Lloyd. He turns, fires. LaRaba turns, shoots, and scores. Tulsa, but it won't count because the foul was called first. Tulsa's really been a team with a great home court advantage this year. They've not lost in their home court. The Tulsa crowd has been rabid. Now they are discovering that Des Moines, Iowa can be every bit as rabid. That last foul called on Jeff Hill, and Jeff picked up his 2nd personal foul. Jerry, I feel sorry for those who did not make it tonight to see it in person. A great crowd of 11,418, and what a ball game it's been to watch.
Well, they've missed the best and great performance of the season. I truly believe that, and it's been a very exciting night. I have to think that the crowd here tonight at the auditorium has done the best job they've done all season, and Tulsa, one of the victims of that. We've got some other scores from around the valley at halftime. New Mexico State leads Southern Illinois 30-22. With 18 minutes left in the second half, West Texas leads Indiana State 53-34, and the halftime score that we gave you earlier, Wichita 42, and the Creighton Blue Jays at 35.
Brad LaRaba hits the first free throw and the second, and it's a 19-point Bulldog lead with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to play. So the ball is Wright. He's out of the left corner. 37 for Pop Wright, the career best for him. 94-73 break, 3:32 left to play. Johnny Earl knocks the ball out of bounds on the left sideline. The pass intended for Steve Ballard. Jerry, now that the Bulldog crowd has just popped up, you've really got to hope that Drake gets back here for the playoffs. This crowd has really given Drake a lift. Baseline lob inside to Ballard. He'll bank it up way too hard. Rebound by Lewis Lloyd. Pop Wright's looking for the ball. Lloyd says, I'll take this one, and he lays it. He didn't miss it, but he got fouled by Stevenson. Pop Wright was flashing on the left side saying, come on, Magic, come on, Magic. And Lewis said, wait a minute, you've jumped ahead of me in the scoring goal, 37-35. I'm going in myself on this one. And he missed it, but Stevenson picked up the foul. And so now Lewis Lloyd has a chance at his 35th point.
I'll tell you what, I think Pop Wright would pay to get to the 40-point mark.
Pop Wright is drooling. The free throw by Lewis Lloyd is good. He's got 36. One more for Black Magic. What a fun night this has been for Drake followers. 95-73. Next free throw by Lloyd is good. 37 for Lloyd, 37 for Wright, 96-73 Bulldogs. Anderson has come back in for Tulsa. Maybe Johnny Craven has come in. There's a baseline feed for LaRaba. He'll put it up and miss it. Rebound taken out by Jeff Hill. Hill across the timeline here to the free throw line to the corner to Wright. Here he goes for 39. He finally missed one, and the rebound is grabbed by LaRaba for the Hurricane. LaRaba ahead to Craven. Craven to Stevenson. Back to Craven. Banks it in. Good give and go by Tulsa, and Johnny Craven, appearing in just his 10th game, hits it. The Bulldogs will call a timeout. Timeout with 2:54 left to play. It's Drake 96, Tulsa 75 on KSO.
Larry Morgan here for Heritage Cablevision. I want to talk for a minute to all you sports lovers who just can't seem to get enough sports coverage from TV. Did you know that ESPN, the entertainment and sports broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on Heritage Cablevision Channel 2? How good is it? Well, ESPN was the first network ever to televise the NFL choreograph, 32 cents a day. Subscribe to the Heritage Cablevision Total Entertainment System today. Remember, without it, all you have is TV.
Pop Wright's career high of 37, Lewis Lloyd's 37, and the Bulldogs lead it 96-75 with 2:53 to play. Drake has shot 65% for the ballgame. They are approaching the school record there. It's a bit higher, but not much. Johnny Earl in deep, shovels for Pop. He'll lay it up, have it blocked by Stevenson. Pop gets it back, puts it up again. Johnny Earl follows it through, and Johnny Earl to play. With the basketball, Stevenson on the right sideline for the Gulfstream Hurricane. Off to Craven. Craven takes the ball batted down by Earl. Picked up by Wadley. Pop looking for the ball. Gets it on a pass from Wadley. Puts it in! 29 for Pop Wright. 90, or rather 175. Break by 25. 2:18 left to play. They're going crazy. There's a steal by Hill. Hill throws it intended for Lloyd. It's deflected and knocked away by Nilsson. Nilsson brings it up for Tulsa. Goes into the lane. Bounces it off in the corner to Craven. Craven on the way. Back to Nilsson on the free throw line. Nilsson on the left side. Back to Henderson Stevenson. Knocked out of bounds by Earl.
Substitutes getting ready to come in. I hope not for Pop Wright. It'd be great to see him get to the 40-point mark.
Wadley will lead. Sampson is in. Earl will lead. Banks is in. Pop Wright leads. Puts into the hand. Pop Wright and Bob Ornigal hug. Pop Wright, the best point total of his career, 39 points. Pop Wright and Lewis Lloyd hug. This is indeed an emotional moment for the Drake basketball team. They lead Tulsa 100-75. Tulsa, the hottest team of the Missouri Valley Conference the last couple of weeks. And Pop Wright goes out, hugs Lonnie Clark, the Bulldogs trainer. There's a lot of hugging and a lot of great feeling in the Bulldog bench. And now Stephon Butler will peel off the warm-up jacket. And Jeff Hill will leave. And Jeff will get a good round of applause. A standing ovation from the most of the crowd to the Beck Auditorium. All Hill did tonight was get his 7th career start. Boy, every minute of the first half, Jeff didn't score, but he dished out a bundle of assists. 14 unofficially. With the ball, Craven. Craven's in deep. Right hand jump hook, good. And he got fouled by Butler. Butler with his first foul. Craven with his second hoop. And it will be 100-77 with 1:57 left to play. Jerry, my memory, which was never great, is a little faulty now. The Bulldogs hit 100 this year before tonight?
Yes, they have.
And where was that?
He said confidently. Prior to conference, it's
116 against Augustana, first game of the year, and not since then. One more for Johnny Craven as he tries for the three-point play. It's good, and it's 100-78. The Bulldogs will celebrate this one for a long time. We had the feeling at the outset of the ball game it would be a memorable night at Best Auditorium. It has been. There's a steal by Craven from Angel. He'll lay it up and miss it. Rebound by Ron Angel. Angel off to Butler. Butler across the timeline, dribbles to the free throw line, gets it off intended for Banks. Somehow passed it to himself and traveled. Stephon Butler going down the middle of the floor, threw the ball the general direction of Banks, probably deflected by a Hurricane. Somehow Stephon ran under his own pass, but it had to be deflected by somebody. The officials didn't see it that way, and they called it traveling. And now Lewis Lloyd is taken out of the game, and he goes over and shakes hands with Nolan Richardson, with Stewart, with the Tulsa bench. A lot of those young men he's played against in his junior college career in New Mexico. So he is going down the bench, shaking their hand, and now shakes the hand of the Tulsa players on the floor. Black Magic makes a ride of the Hurricane. He will come out the floor, standing ovation. It is pandemonium time at Butler's Auditorium. Pop Wright and Lewis Lloyd with a high five in front of the Bulldog bench, and I'm sorry you can't see this one in person. It is just something to behold. Meanwhile, Clarence too. With the basketball, Ballard for Tulsa with about 40 left to play. Off to Craven. Craven into the lane, puts it up, no good, and a foul is called. Jerry, this one has got to be captured someplace for time immemorial. It has been a classic on the floor, a classic of emotions. Ron Angel comes out of the ballgame, and he'll get a standing O. Leon Van Hook has gone into the Bulldog lineup, a freshman appearing in his 7th ballgame. Don't you wish, as Jim Croce said in the song, you could put this time in a bottle?
Well, it would be great to put it in a bottle and drink out of it for about another 8 or 9 games this season, or however many it would take. Drake could have beaten anybody in the country tonight, or certainly played with anybody in the country. I don't think that's overstatement at all. They started this game a mile high and got higher as it progressed. A great job by the auditorium crowd, saluting 6 seniors. It's really been a fine tribute to some fine people.
And now Ernie Banks will come out. EB from K is his teammate Collins, and the crowd really loves him here, a real crowd favorite. Ernie and Bob Ornigal exchanging the hugs. And now Ernie going to high five down the bench, and Nick Zenz, the manager, giving a slap of the hand. Cravens will go to the line amidst the madness for Tulsa and hit the free throw. And Cravens has got his 6. Did we tell you that Ernie left because he fouled out? I don't believe so. But too much to talk about now to talk about the ballgame. 1:37 to play as Banks fouls out, and Cravens misses the second free throw. And underneath, Van Hook gets the rebound, but a foul is called on Tulsa, so we'll walk the other way. Foul called on Tulsa, and it's on Connie Nilsson. That is his trip from Birmingham, Alabama, ever returned. At the line, Leon Van Hook. Leon has not scored for a while. He's only played in 6 games this year as he's seated behind some very talented people. But the freshman's got a great future. Misfires on the free throw, springing into the lane to try to get the rebound for Tulsa, Steve Ballard. And on his back is Tony Watson. Tony Watson with his first foul, and so now the long walk line to the left. Ball game, the way it's being played with everybody hacking and chopping at each other, might take another 45 minutes, but who cares?
Well, I guess you can delay the great enjoyment that's going on down the floor. By the way, Leon Van Hook missing that free throw. His first miss of the year in 5 attempts, so Leon's just seen his free throw percentage drop by 20%. I'm sure he's not happy about that. Wichita State has expanded their lead. It's now 56-45 over the Creighton Blue Jays. So with the Drake win, the free throw no good.
And the rebound scramble for underneath, by the way, was Steve Ballard who missed it. And a foul is called, I believe, on Van Hook trying to get the ball back for Drake. It is on Leon, and Leon with his first foul.
We were saying 56-45 Wichita over Creighton, 15 minutes left in the second half. So a Drake win here over Tulsa combined with the Creighton defeat, if in fact that happens at Wichita, will put the Bulldogs within 1 game in the loss column of an upper division position.
Nilsson misses the free throw. Then the Bulldogs have a week off before playing Southern Illinois. The Salukis are winless. Now we'll take to play a winless team, Nilsson. The next free throw is good by Ty Nilsson, and it is a 100-80 ball game with 1:33 left to play. The net got caught up in the rim, so Tony Watson leads up. The Bulldogs bench giving a standing ovation to the players on the floor. They are Charlie Nichols, Stephon Butler, James Wiggins, Leon Van Hook, and Tony Watson. Butler off to Van Hook, shoots out the right baseline. He was overeager and nearly missed everything. Rebound by Nichols. Nichols into the lane, 8-foot follow, no good. Rebound is grabbed by Ballard, and a foul is called on Ed Lindblad for Tulsa with 1:18 left to play, and the Bulldogs up by 20. Wright continuing to shoot over 60% of the ball game. The school record, I believe, is 67%, relying on my memory, which is never too great. We'll look it up for you in detail in a moment. Meanwhile, going to the line will be Charlie Nichols. Nick has been shut out thus far tonight, and he still is as he misses the free throw. One more for Charlie Nichols. Charlie will see a lot more playing time before his Drake career is over. He's really not played a lot since being failed with an ear infection in early February. Takes the free throw, so he's in the scoring column, and it's 101-80 with 1:16 to play. Craven at the free throw line, goes down the lane, scoops it up. No, and the rebound grabbed by Craven, puts his follow shot in. Craven following his own shot for his 8th point, and it is now 101-82. The Bulldogs in the lead. 1:03 left to play. Bringing the ball down, Stephon Butler goes all the way underneath, lays it up, no. Rebound by Watson, hammered away from him, picked up by Nichols. He'll put it up off the lip. Rebound is loose, follow shot is good. Putting it in, I believe, was Watson. Tony Watson with a follow shot in first two. As one of my favorite sportscasters, Skip Terry, would say it is cocktail time. Driving down is Nilsson, dishes off at the last moment from Ballard. Ballard will put it in. He hit it and he got fouled. Fouled by Watson. Ballard will go to the line trying to capture a 3-point play. Drake playing a brilliant basketball game tonight. The Bulldogs coming out with great emotion. In fact, Jerry, I'm not sure that I had ever seen more emotion on and off the floor in a basketball game at Best Auditorium than I have here this evening as Ballard sinks the free throw.
I'm certain that I have not.
1:03-85, Drake, 40 seconds to play. Stephon Butler across the timeline falls down because he got pushed down by Johnny Craven, and Butler will go to the line. Stephon is 75% free throw shooter. He is a freshman from Chicago.
Larry, do you think my grandparents picked a good night to see their first college basketball game ever?
Well, as I mentioned a moment ago, Jerry, I'm not sure that you were listening at the time. I said they're probably now wondering why they waited so long.
Sure they are.
Stephon Butler has not scored tonight. By the way, the greatest Drake shooting percentage ever was 67% against Wichita State in 1969. Bulldogs are probably going to wind up over 60 tonight, although the percentage is tailing off lately. The free throw by Butler is good. Drake has now tailed off to 62%. Got to be one of the best, though.
Certainly.
Best of this year, I know that. Stephon Butler with one more. 1:04-85 Drake.
One encouraging thing tonight, well, of course there have been many, but Drake has had a trouble all year of building big early leads and then letting clubs back. They did not do that tonight as they continue to keep Tulsa in a hole for 40 minutes.
Craven shoots to the right wing for Tulsa and air balls. Van Hook rebounds, but he throws it away to LaBrava. In deep for Nilsson. He'll lay it up. No good with 25 seconds left to play. Another foul yet is called. Yet another foul is called, I should say. And this one is going to be against Tulsa, I believe, against Steve Ballard, and Ballard has drawn his 4th foul. The Ballard with his fourth. The celebration continues with the Bulldogs up by 20 and 24 seconds left to play. Look at Jeff Hill, Lewis Lloyd, pop right on the bench. Are they having a ball? They are for a fact. At the line, Tony Watson. Tony tonight come off the bench for a couple of points. Watson, a junior from the Bronx, will shoot the one-on-one.
The victory tonight at the auditorium means that Bob Ortigo has 16 on the season in the Drake Bulldogs as Watson makes the first free throw. That's the most wins by a Bob Ortigo coached team since his first season when the club finished at 19-9 and won the National Commissioners Invitational Tournament.
One more for Tony Watson. The Wright. 107.85. Drake, 24 seconds left to play. Craven across the timeline. Hesitation dribble, goes into the lane, lost the ball, got it right back, picked up by Lindblad on garbage, she'll miss it. Rebound is taken by Watson with 15 seconds left to play. Ball knocked out of bounds by Tulsa, Ty Nielsen. Greg with the ball, 14 seconds to go, up 107-85. The crowd doesn't want him to stop yet. Charlie Nichols inbounds to Stephon Butler. Butler challenged by Cravens, runs over Cravens, but Cravens slid in front of him, and so he picked up the foul. Meanwhile, Stephon goes stumbling out of bounds from midcourt line on the left side. And did they call it on charging on Stephon Butler? I'm surprised. I thought they found pointing at the man on the ground. But it is on Stephon. His second foul. I thought Craven never got his feet down. With the ball is Nielsen into the lane. Bounces off the Lindblad. Shoots out of the left corner. No good. Rebound by Cravens. He rebounds it in. Cravens has had a career high just the second half. We're down to 1 second. Butler desperation shot of the horn won't go. And the Bulldogs have taken one of the more impressive victories into the books that they have scored in recent years. Totally dominating one of the best teams in the Midwest, the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes, to win their 16th of the year. The final score was Wright 107 and Tulsa 87, and we'll be back with the happy totals in 1 minute on KSO.
Where can you get low-cost loans and high interest on your savings? At your credit union. Your credit union offers you loans for new cars, home improvements, or that dream vacation you've been longing for. And its interest rates are lower than rates charged by many other lenders. Your credit union offers you high interest on passport-type savings and certificates, too. Your credit union for savings. Savings insured to $100,000 by the administrator, NCUA.